Every Who down in Whoville liked theater a lot. But the Grinch, who lived just north of Whoville, did not. The Grinch hated theater, the whole theater season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be, perhaps, that his songs were off-key. It could be his name wasn't on the marquee. But the number one reason for having bad thoughts was the tropical drag danced by Marty and Scott. But whatever the reason, the cruise or the booze, he looked out over Glenlord, hating the Who's. Staring out from his cave, all his happiness gone, at the Lockerbie set, built by hot Grandpa John. Inside, all the players and volunteers, too, were earning the accolades of Dr. Craig's famous Woo!
And they're costuming actors,
he snarled with a sneer.
The show opens Friday. It's practically here.
He grumbled and growled till he grinched out of breath.
I must make this show go the way of Mac. For on Friday, I know at 7:30 o'clock, a board member will get up on stage and they'll talk. And then, they'll talk. Oh, they'll talk, 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 talk. If there's one thing I hate, it's the talk, 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 talk. They'll gather backstage, the crew dressed in black. They'll light up the stage and those actors will act. And they'll act. And they'll act. And they'll act, 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 act.
And the more the Grinch thought of the house being packed, the more the Grinch thought,
I must mount my attack. Why, for 88 years I've put up with it now. I must stop Twin City players. But how?
Then he got an idea. An awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat.
I'll make sure that the doors to the playhouse stay closed. Oh, it's time for some fun.
The Grinch hummed out of tune, sneaking into the studio by the light of the moon. He found all the songbooks for Fun Home, you see, and he stuffed them in bags for his Grinch thieving spree. He took all the scripts and their piano keys, too. Then he went to the playhouse, sneering,
It's time for round 2.
John's Lockerbie set was built so nice and tidy.
These flats,
he grinched,
will never see lighting.
Then he slithered and slunk like an unpleasant shrew around the whole campus, and he took every screw. Costumes and power tools, makeup, mops, Cindy's paints, light boards, table saws, props. He filled up his bags with goodies galore.
And now,
grinned the Grinch,
that blasted lobby board.
And the Grinch opened the cabinet. He started to tear, when he heard a strange sound like the growl of a bear. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who, little Mary Rose Who, with her cleaning kung fu. The Grinch had been caught by this wee theater scrubber, who cleaned up after everyone, so therefore they loved her. She roared at the Grinch,
Who the hell are you? Get out of here now, or you're getting the broom.
He didn't consider, not even a minute, and he ran out the door, bags stuffed to the limit. It was 1:15 when the Grinch slipped away, when he packed up his van with the stuff from the play, packed it up with their props, their lights and their rigs, their backdrops and headsets, their music and wigs. He drove back to his home, green-faced, all aglow, perfectly confident he'd ruined the show.
Pooh-pooh to the Who's!
He was grinchiously humming.
They're finding out now that no Tech Week is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. They'll sign on to Facebook and read of the news. Then the Who's and their patrons will all cry boo-hoo. That's a post,
sneered the Grinch,
that I must behold.
Then he logged on to Facebook, and he started to troll. And he did read a post on the theater's page, but it wasn't about how they'd all been upstaged. Those silly players did not cry, mope, or whine. Why, TCP was doing shows online. Every Who from the theater, the tall and the small, were coming up with ideas to have theater this fall. TCP was still performing. The players wouldn't fold. The shows still went on without all the stuff that he stole. And the Grinch, with his feet snug in slippers at home, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without curtains. It came without screws. It came without tickets, light booths, or crews.
He puzzled and puzzled till his puzzler ached. Then he realized he'd made a big Grinch mistake.
Maybe theater, he thought, needs no stages or halls. Maybe theater, perhaps, is about the people involved.
And what happened next? Well, TCPers say the Grinch became a lifelong patron that day. The Thin Man's Adventures was the first show he saw. Larry's hats and voices made him giggle and guffaw. With excitement in his heart, he turned on couples and smiled with delight as they worked out their troubles. The black figurine of death was on next. Murder, mayhem, and great sound effects. The Grinch fell in love with the people and songs, and he himself shouted,
"The show must go on!"